What is going down, everyone? It's time for Mojobreak.com's The Hype. Happy holidays. Christmas is this week. Hopefully you got all your gifts taken care of. If not, head down to Mojobreakshop.com. We got great deals on wax. And if you want to join a break and give yourself a gift, use code XMASHYPE on Mojobreak.com. Once again, that code is XMASHYPE, XMASHYPE, for those keeping track at home. 13% off anything at Mojobreak.com, including brand new Topps Chrome basketball. I don't know if there's any Cooper flags left because it seems like every single breaker in the world is getting 10 Cooper flag autos, which is crazy. Is that what you guys are seeing? There's so many Cooper flags happening.
Yeah, it's, what's the big deal with this guy? They're all coming out of. There's so many Cooper flags. I mean, he must not be that special.
Is he even that good?
Is he even that good?
Is he even that good?
I don't know. I mean, we'll see. I think there's been one Gold Logoman poll that I've seen.
Oh, who was it?
Oh,
I think it was an SGA on non-autoed one.
Okay, but if
It was a redemption.
They have number to 4.
right.
I don't know. Do we have any specifics on how many actual Gold Logomans are?
Yeah, I'd have to double check, but I think Dan's right. I think they're like
The non-autoed number to 4, and then the autoed 101s.
right.
Right. Or I could have just made that up.
Could have.
Yep.
Maybe.
And this show will also talk about the Beckett PSA merger, as well as the Ohtani record sale, gold Logoman as well, and some Star Wars, or I'm sorry, some Topps Chrome Marvel Studios, which is coming out this week as well. So exciting things heading into Christmas. Hopefully you guys are, having a great Christmas out there. We appreciate you guys listening to the hype. More stuff to come. But yeah, Topps Chrome. We had, if you hadn't missed on social media, we had Emma Roberts and Cody John down for Topps Chrome release day, and fantastic hits. To have somebody of her stature in the building and really know how to rip cards was phenomenal for us. Very easy to work with. And, we got I think 3 Cooper flags that she pulled. And then a lot of our other breakers were pulling some crazy Cooper flags. But, I think the consensus out there is, do we think that the Topps kind of front loaded this with Cooper flag? Or is there just that many Cooper flags they had get signed?
Look, it's funny you say this. It's kind of something, one, we've brought it up on this show, and 2, last week, Bubba and I on the baseball pod, we were talking about the whole MLB debut, how many MLB debut patches were popping up in week 1 of Update Chrome.
But we pulled 0.
And we pulled none. And yet...
So how did we get loaded boxes if
right,
we didn't? I'm
exactly.
still waiting for our Major League debut patches that we didn't see out of.
We've made the jokes of that's the Nick Kurtz palette right there, or that's the Blake palette, or whatever.
Every other breaker got them, but we didn't.
But again, I think there is a little bit of truth to the first shipment. Sprinkle it with some good stuff. Make sure good stuff's out there.
I don't think it's
beneficial to everybody.
I think that's so hard. I know
it's hard to do.
It's hard to do. I don't think. Look, I mean, let's face it. The product is essentially already sold anyway.
Right.
Why? If they do hold back product, they're not holding up enough product to really make that much sense financially. I don't. I mean, and plus, how maybe redemptions you can kind of pick and choose where they're gonna go, but I
think the facts are, for one, those that are Breaker Delight is a completely a different SKU. So you've got geometrics. So you got gold geometrics. So take note of this if you're looking at videos. Gold geometrics, purple geometrics, orange, whatever. They have their own set. It's almost like it's a separate set. Yep. Yeah, it's the same set, but the parallels are exclusive to that. And then you have hobby and you have jumbo, which pull from the same set. The true golds, all that other stuff. And then, of course, you have retail that mixes in probably with the same odds as hobby and jumbo. So, and Topps wanted to make a huge splash. They have Cooper flag signed to an exclusive. So, and this is the first time Topps Chrome has been out since 2009, 2010. So, yeah, they probably put more Cooper flags in than they would in another year. But they want to say, hey, we're back. We have basketball again. We want to see these big cards coming out. And it helps when they have the 2 different SKUs. I guess the question for collectors out there is, are you selling Cooper flag now because there's so many possibly in Chrome, or is it a long-term play? I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, The hype train's real. It's probably the biggest hype train we've had since, well, Wemby had a lot of hype and then Zion. But a lot of hype here with the Dallas Mavericks and Cooper Flagg. Is it a situation where you're going to hold Cooper Flagg right now? Or is there so many of them? What are you doing?
I think it's never a bad idea to strike while the iron's hot and sell during the hype train. That's probably what I would do. But getting back to like everybody saying like breakers get, I know we've talked about this before, but breakers getting loaded boxes. The thing is that breakers are not going to post bad boxes.
No,
it doesn't work. If you're on social media, you're looking for engagement, you're looking for clicks, and you're looking for people to look at your brand. You're not going to put up a bunch of every box isn't good, but if you go on social media, the perceived notion that it's every box is very good and all these breakers are basically pulling all these massive cards. Thing is that is the only thing that's worthy of them getting clicks and getting their name out there. So,
correct.
Yep.
Don't it has nothing to do with loaded boxes. It's just you're going to pick and choose what you're going to market. You're not going to market a bad box.
It's literally the rule of just social media in general. It's like you're not going to post yourself doing the dishes.
Yeah.
That's boring.
Yeah,
but if you are the first person to have, the new iPhone, or if you are like, oh, look at me, I went to Bora Bora, that's what you're going to post.
I know, and this, I know people understand this.
Yeah.
But yet the comments I see, they get it, but it's just like they don't want to admit it.
Well, it's just like, do we see highlight reels of Shohei Ohtani striking out? Like, do we have a compilation of all of Shohei Ohtani's strikeouts this year, or being caught stealing, or making an error? No, it's his 3 home run, 4 home run games. It's his 10 strikeout pitching games. So it's like, and we got, and I appreciate the comments, negative or positive, keep them coming. I love them. It's just funny to me that like, on our video for Emma Roberts, it's like, well, Michael Rubin gave you guys the cases. Like, we got a handful of cases from Fanatics direct. We also got a handful of cases from online retailers to make sure we had enough. None of them came marked saying, give this to Emma. Like, we went and grabbed, and we don't know if we grabbed the blowout cases. We don't know if we grabbed the DA cases. We don't know if, and we're spending full retail on these things. And then we did get some from Topps. So like we don't know where we're grabbing it. And the funny thing is they're assuming that the gold Cooper Flagg that Emma hit was for herself. But it's actually average customers that are buying into the breaks that are getting these cards. So when you're saying like only the rich people get cards, they're not going home with these cards. So I know it's hard to put a context on a 90-second or less video, but there's people that are getting these cards that are in breaks that are everyday consumers that all have the, wherewithal to buy into the break, join the live.
Yeah, those breaks were pre-price. They were like a set price random team break, and it was $199 a team. And it was open to anybody. Anybody could have gotten that break. And
it's the thing I want to scream from the heavens every time when people say, "Of course a breaker got it. Of course a breaker got it." I'm like, do you know what we do?
Yeah.
Like, do you know what we do here? We're not keeping these for ourselves.
All those cards go to they all go to our fulfillment. They get sorted. They get shipped out, and none of them stay in the building.
No.
So
no.
I mean, it's simple as like, if I take 30 free throws, I'm going to probably make at least 1 or 2 of them. But if a regular person takes 1 free throw and misses, he's only had 1 chance to get it.
Right.
So
there's that too. It's just
there's the odds of it happening. So like people go into the shop, and yeah, Topps Chrome's pretty pricey, but so is Prism. Basketball's international, and it's got a good rookie class, and first time we've seen a lot of these guys in years. So it's going to be pretty pricey. So yeah, you go in and, hey, a $900 box, $1,200 box. I think the Delight SKU's up to $1,900 box. Whew. That's expensive to open 1 box.
Now, that's the thing I do want to say is, like, if you have, like, it's one thing to be like, oh, my God, the people who maybe don't understand, like, we're keeping the cards or Emma was keeping the cards, and that's just not the case. But there's a different argument if you're like, well, because we noticed it, the Breaker to Light version of the product was really good. I can't speak to, we didn't, the Hobby and Jumbo, but like it felt like the Breaker to Light was probably the best of the three. Now, there are things that you can't get out of that version that you can get out of Hobby and Jumbo. Like, I think we were talking about it off air.
True
like,
golds, true
the
oranges.
trues.
Yeah.
Yeah, the true golds. The true
Very
oranges.
few of those in there.
Those are coming out of Hobby and Jumbo. But if you want to make the argument of like, so the box that's called Breaker is the best version, sure, make that argument. That's a separate
But it's
argument.
its own set. That's why.
Right. That's a different argument. If you want to make that argument, whatever. Take that up with Mr. Tubbs, So, but I do understand it. There's some frustration there. But again, everything has its, positives and negatives. There's chances to get the SSPs. Probably, I think it's a higher chance to get the SSPs in the Hobby and Jumbo over the Breaker Delight. So,
I mean,
it's positive and negatives.
Everybody knew this product was going to be scorching hot.
Yeah.
And we all knew that this product was going to go up. Like, it's been how long? 15 years since Topps has had licensed chrome basketball.
And even then, the Curry year, it wasn't even chrome. It was flagship and chrome mixed together. So we haven't had chrome in a long time. And, you got your first LeBrons. You got your, first Wemby chrome licensed autos. You've got Durant. I mean, you have a really good time in basketball talent-wise to have this product. So the stars align for that. Prices are, you call Topps calls any breaker right now and probably gives them a price of whatever. They'll probably take it. So the market is good. I mean, that's the other thing that we have to look at as a hobby. You have to decide, like, if the boxes were $400, then your possible chances of value are not there, right? So, and some may say, hey, I just collect sets. I don't care. I only want to spend this amount of money. I don't care about reselling. That's fine, but we're not in that world anymore, unfortunately. I wish we were in certain instances, but we're not there. When cards sell for, like, we'll get to this Ohtani that sold for $3 million. When cards start to tip that scale of that price,
but
it's a different game.
if you are a set builder, you could build the set relatively inexpensive.
Or you can go buy a Mega or a Blaster.
The secondary market on some of the auto subjects, some of the parallels. I mean, of course, there's like nosebleed cards that have priced out a lot of people, like the gold logo mans and some of the paralleled Cooper flags. But like, there's still, go on eBay and there's a lot of cards out of Topps Chrome basketball that are affordable individually. Like, look at the secondary market. You can still basically build a set if you want to build a set.
Yeah. So let us know below in the comments if you're ripping Topps Chrome still. What teams are you chasing? Are you excited for the gold logo mans? Are you excited for the superfractors? All that stuff. So let's move on to collectors acquiring Beckett. I know we're always last to talk about this, but we got to talk about it. And PSA, Beckett, and now SGC are now under basically the collector's umbrella, and it's caused kind of an uproar in our hobby community. In other businesses, this happens quite often. I mean, there's a lot of merging in the technology field. There's a lot of merging in the social media field. I mean, what does Meta owns? Like, they've bought like Instagram and Snapchat and all these, what I mean? So when these businesses get big enough, they just
They'll
start a Facebook.
Yeah, sure.
It all starts with what?
Facebook.
Facebook. Yeah.
Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat. I WhatsApp.
I think you're right. They bought everything. They've got everything.
Yeah, I mean,
TikTok.
one of the few, I mean, and you're probably going to get to this, but we love throwing around in our industry, in our little niche industry, we love throwing around the monopoly word.
We do.
We love throwing it around. Anytime anything happens, it's like monopoly. There's still a lot of grading companies out there.
Yeah.
Now,
I saw each and every one put up a message on social media.
Yeah.
Tag, CG, all of the other major competitors said, just know, we are there. We have your best interest in mind.
HGA
We would
still
never.
around?
Think so.
HGA?
Maybe.
Oh, I don't know about that guy. I don't think so.
No.
That guy?
Wasn't there like one guy who was making all the funny slabs and
Yeah, the one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That one was.
Master P grading still around?
Oh, man.
Make 'em say,
you
huh?
That's who I trust now.
Look, I mean, the thing about it is you don't have to. You know what's funny to me, and I may get some fire for this comment, but it's like you want to complain about the Topps Chrome pricing, and then you say you're a collector, right? But then you want to say, well, now I can't grade my card. Well, why would you grade your cards if you're just a collector then, right? So you can't have it both ways. So if you want to grade your card for yourself, you have a lot of options beyond PSA and Beckett and SGC. But people, let's face it, people are grading their cards to turn a profit on said investment.
This pains me to say this, but like nobody was. The reason why Beckett sold is because nobody was going to Beckett and grading their cards.
You're 100% right.
Like if everybody would have supported Beckett, like they loved them, and they wouldn't be in this position. But they were probably like, we need to figure out what our next plan is, and it doesn't surprise me. I mean, I'm surprised it didn't happen sooner.
I think what happened, really was the timing, because we were literally on the heels of like that buyback thing that was like, this guy got a $35 offer for his PSA 9 Blastoise or whatever it was. It was a Pokemon card. He got a $39 offer. He sold the card, and then all of a sudden they regraded it, and it was a 10, and it didn't look good. The optics were terrible. We talked about this last week on the breakdown, and it was like, I personally don't think that they were maliciously trying to steal $10 from customers. Either way, not great optics, flaw in their system, not great.
So they rebutted.
But the funny thing is the community started to shout, Beckett, 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 Beckett.
And so they buy Beckett?
They're probably a long litigation of buying Beckett, but it was just, the timing was impeccable, because it was like, no pun intended there, but the timing was impeccable because it was like, oh, by the way, we just bought Beckett after all this drama that happened with this buyback thing.
Right.
And, so I think it was literally like, matches to a flame here on the whole uproar of like, PSA 60 days, they're raising their rates, blah, blah, blah. What about the folks that work for Beckett? They probably feel a little bit better now, right? I mean, they feel like they got like staying power.
I don't.
Because supposedly it's staying the same, right? So if you were working at Beckett before the merger, and you're like, I don't know how long I have a job for, right?
I think anytime there is a merger, generally you go in there and you tell the old guard, like, hey, everything is going to be running the same exact way. And there's probably some immediate truth to that, but in the long run, that's probably all smoke and mirrors, right?
100%.
I do agree with you there, but I think the problem that PSA has as a company is the delay, which means to me, you can't just find graders on the street, right? So maybe these guys get crossed over too, where if they're not grading Beckett, they're able to grade PSA.
But we just saw, they acquired SGC.
Yes.
And they kind of said the same exact thing. It was going to be business as usual. And it really, I don't use SGC that much, but the consensus with Twitter and the collectors that use SGC is that it hasn't been the same since PSA has acquired them.
This is the thing.
They don't have the same turnover time, and the prices have gone up. Like, everything that people loved about SGC.
Very fair.
Yep.
Yeah.
And this is the thing, too, with any major consolidation, any merger, you're right. Like you said, Dan, they're going to tell you, hey, we love what you do around here. We don't want to step on your toes. We don't want to get in your way.
We loved it so much. That's why we went and bought you guys.
Right. But there's going to be the big consolidation. It's happening. It will happen. They're going to say, okay, this is a redundant position. We already have a guy who does this. We're going to cut the staff in half if it's generous, probably 75%. What happens.
One of the things I know that was one of the biggest complaints about Beckett, I can't remember the guy's name. I think it was Sandeep or whoever owned Beckett also owned Southern, and they also had Dragon Shield as well. Dragon Shield is supplies. Like, that guy basically, when he bought Beckett, he was a guy that was known to take businesses that were overinflated, like basically on staff and VPs, and cut it down to make it profitable, right? So I'm pretty sure it's pretty bare bones as it is, which might have been the hurt and why they lost market share. Who knows? I'm just speaking off the top of the dome here. So it may be just a pretty skeleton run ship anyway, where they can't really take pieces out. I don't know. I don't work there. I don't know the people that work there. But I guess the question to you guys and the people that are listening to this podcast, do you think they bought this to just take out competition, or they bought this to expand their portfolio?
Both. I think it works. It's, it's a double benefit. We don't have to worry about back. Like, hey, not that they were hot on their tail or anything, but it's like it's a symbolic move, 100%.
I don't think they bought Beckett to restructure it and build it up again.
No. They bought it to get some of its infrastructure, and also to get the brand name. Like, I think there is some advantage to like what do they do with it? Do they maybe use it as like, hey, this is a really big card. Why don't you use our black label premium?
I think they're going back to price guides. I think they're doing print media, and they're going to start doing.
I'm glad you brought up I'm glad you brought up the black label, because I guess people that own black labels are fearing the value of their black label now.
This is the one thing where I think maybe it's a benefit for if you've got those is I think that maybe there's a version of this where they see that as like it's a premium brand or something, where it's like, we want to use, you could submit it to PSA and they may be like, hey, this is, if we said to this Beckett, it could be a black label card, and that would just whatever.
Maybe a higher upcharge to get the black label.
Hey, you want us to send it to that? It's going to be a black label. We like blah blah blah. I don't know how exactly that would work, but I kind of thought maybe that's an avenue they would go down, as like seeing it as sort of their premium brand now.
Do you think that, I mean, but they can also, if PSA wanted to, they can have a Gem 10 Plus.
They could. But this is their way of.
But they also seen when Beckett changed their. Remember? So maybe they were like, we can't change it.
No.
But this is a way to make it a little slightly different, right? Or they get a 1% card of like, say they get a Jordan, right? An 86, 87 Jordan. I'm just using that card as an example. Gets submitted through PSA. Is there a world where they're like, this is a black label, so we're gonna suggest you to get a black label, because now it's going to be pop 2 or 1, whoever knows how many black label Jordans. There's probably not any. So is it a way for them? I guess it's a way for them to diversify what they're doing, but also, I guess, make more money.
I think that sounds like there potentially could be more black labels in the market.
Yeah.
But you as a customer, though,
and devaluing the black label,
that is definitely a concern.
Yeah.
So you could look at it as like they can make even more money on upcharges this way, I guess, right?
Yes.
Because you're like, okay, I'm submitting this Jordan. I'm going to pay, I think it's an 8. I'm going to pay the $100,000 grading level, which is whatever, $2,000, whatever it is, right? They're like, well, this is a black label now, and it's $2 million. So you're going to pay $20,000 in grading fees. Right. I'm just throwing a number. I don't know what the number is, but it gives them a little flexibility from a business standpoint.
it is safe to say with the acquisition that Southern Hobby was not part.
No, as far as we could tell.
And neither was Dragon Shield. And I mean, I've talked to people who are at Southern, and they haven't been told anything concrete, it sounds like. So I think Southern is, back to being a independent.
Well, and also I'm looking at the positives from collectors, and I'm thinking the one positive is if we could start blending the pop counts. So now that they're under the same roof, you may be able to go somewhere in the future. I don't know if this is going to blend, but it could be like, I have a 1989 Upper Deck Griffey, and you can go onto a page and it'll say there's 2,000 PSA 10s and there's 2,000 BGS 95s all in the same place, right? Or you can get a pop count of graded between SGC, PSA, and BGS, which could help the consumers to find it all under one roof instead of bouncing the different pop counts.
Yeah.
If that's possible. I mean, they're buying their whole. I mean, I guess strategically as a company, they're like, who has the most graded from 2019 to 1990? It's probably Beckett, right? So especially of modern. So your Jordan, your not your Jordans, your LeBron refractors, your your Bryce Harpers, although that era, like Ichiro, all that stuff, Jordan inserts, those are probably all majorly graded from Beckett right now. Right? So you have that in your portfolio.
Yeah.
You're paying for the history.
They want to be a one-stop shop. That's exactly what it is. I mean, that's why you get, despite the fact that, yeah, you're right, BGS is not where it was. It's what, fourth, I think, maybe, if you're looking at the
I mean,
but historically, these are the three brands, I feel like, when it comes to grading, that most collectors would say, yeah, these have been the three that have sort of stood the test of time for the last however many so years. It's PSA, BGS, and to some extent SGC as well. So,
yeah, they definitely have lost massive amount of market share and it was quick. I mean, you go back 2018 to 2021, like in 3 years, like they went from being probably the modern grading company and PSA being number 2 to Beckett being 4th, PSA being 1 by a long shot.
I mean, you can go back to, some of you may know or may not know, and we appreciate you if you have listened to us that long. We've been doing podcasts since 2010, and for the first at least 8 years, we're like, if it's a card that's over, if it's from 1980 and now, it's Beckett, and if it's 1980 and older, it's PSA. That was the narrative. So everything we were doing, because we weren't breaking stuff from 1980 and below, we were breaking all new stuff. So any customer that would ask, Beckett, BGS. That's all we would say. It was BGS. So I would say that when the pandemic hit and we were grading like inserts like mosaics and prisms and stuff like that, everybody started going to PSA, and PSA was able to handle it. And I feel like there was a lot of 10s back then. So it was like and the 10 to the 9.5 is really what swayed it. So Beckett having that almost unachievable, because if you think about it, Beckett's 9.5 is technically an 8 from PSA, because Beckett has the gold 10 and then they have the black 10. So there's 2 other levels besides the 9.5s.
You have the pristine 10,
yes,
which is the gold.
The gold.
And then you have the black label,
which is all 10s.
And then at 9.5, it literally only takes one 9.5 subgrade to make it, right?
I think so, or 2 9.5s.
Or maybe 2. Yeah.
So
2 9.5s.
So I think that's when everybody jumped back into collecting, and like Clyde Edwards-Helaire was hot, and 2020 and Zion and Ja and Luka, and people are just grading Prism silvers and things like that. It was like, I want a 10, and I'm going to get a better chance at a 10 than a Beckett gold or a black. So I'm going to play the odds, and that's kind of how it happened. And honestly, the uniformity of the slabs, I think Beckett had a problem with. You got a gold slab, you have a white slab, you have a black slab, you have all these different colors, and they're thicker. They weren't as aerodynamic. I mean,
aerodynamic.
I mean, if you need to chuck it, it's
like, I mean, if you want to, it's got some weight to. I mean, look,
actually, if you want it to just be like,
it's not. It's. I mean, I've been a fan of Beckett and their slabs. We can go back years. Yeah. And I still prefer their slabs. Like
the fight is over.
I know it's done. I'm defeated. I'm defeated.
Yeah.
Remember, it was one of the first videos we had you do.
It is PSA versus BGS, and now
presidential debate style.
It's over.
Yeah, I won.
It's over.
I won.
I think.
Little did we know, it was like we were doing a debate of Netflix versus Blockbuster. It's like, oh, if only you knew.
Yep.
Yeah.
A few years.
Redbox. Netflix.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
I think, but C-Rad was on my team.
He was.
You got some questions here. How many more acquisitions and mergers will we see in the hobby in the next few years? How many until this becomes an issue with the federal government? And to point out the fact that New York Congressman Pat Ryan, I guess not to be confused with P. Ryan Collection, which I think is the same exact name, isn't it? It's interesting. He's already put a motion to an antitrust probe. So I guess there's 2 parts to that question. I think we're going to see a lot more acquisitions and mergers, because I think it was CNN, one of those money, MSNBC, something predicted a certain percentage, like an insane amount of growth in 2026 for the collectibles market. So, big companies are aware. As we talked about on the show, Kevin O'Leary's involved in things. More and more. I mean, we just worked with Emma Roberts. I mean, you've seen Stephen A. Smith breaking. So this stuff is getting more and more mainstream, where other businesses are going to want to jump in. So I think we're going to see a lot more. I think we're going to see a lot more mergers.
I think you're right. But it's interesting. This is the first time I have seen in the last few years as a lot of stuff is happening. I know, Fanatics and Panini are locked in a major legal battle right now that, when that ends, I don't know. But it's been ongoing. So that's not new to us. But definitely somebody in the government saying, hey, something seems a little fishy here. I think we need to look into this thing. That's kind of new. I mean, there's at least in the last few years, I should say, there's been other stuff throughout the history.
I mean, what's crazy to me is that we always, to kind of pull back the curtain a little bit, me and Dan started this in 2010, and we were always really kind of hyper aware of gambling, aspect of this. Like we knew people, 2011, they were.
We didn't talk about the G word.
We didn't, but like we knew in just 2011. I mean, people weren't buying the Panthers because they were Panther fans. They were buying the Panthers because Cam Newton was an upcoming rookie, and they were spending more for the Panthers to get Cam Newton to be able to sell Cam Newton for X amount of dollars. Now, it wasn't what it was today. It was spending $60 on a Panthers spot and getting a $300 Cam Newton auto, and you were happy. But we always kind of tiptoed around saying values because we don't, especially being in California where gambling is not legal for sports. Even though Kalshi's, I don't know how they get around it, but I think today it's more and more mainstream with the leagues supporting DraftKings, so with the leagues supporting all these gambling networks and stuff where, I think we get, you could tiptoe around this stuff. I mean, I guess the point I'm trying to make is it's like, it seems like things have relaxed a little bit on stuff like this, and these big companies are really kind of taking advantage of that, where you have Willy Wonka tickets, and yeah, unfortunately the demise of the true collector is happening, but it's guys that are trying to invest in a Cooper Flag type or hit the next $1 million card or $3 million card, as we're going to talk about here soon, and it's a lot of these companies are jockeying and trying to get into the space to be able to capitalize on this.
Yep. Lifetime supply of chocolate.
And PSA is doing it. They're saying this card is now $2 million, so you owe us $20,000 to grade it. Right. So they're directly benefiting from it, and it's probably really hard to compete. Honestly, it sucks. This upcharge stuff sucks.
But Beckett doesn't do that.
But are they going to now? That's a question.
Dun dun dun.
Right. Yeah, this is definitely not the last merger acquisition we're going to see in this space.
In the grading space, or in the hobby in general?
Hobby in general. In the grading space, I don't know if you can go much more until you can actually say, all right, now you've gone a little too far.
Hypothetically, like where do you see the next merger? I think on a smaller scale, you're definitely going to see some breaking companies merge together. I actually am surprised we don't see that.
That's actually good.
As often as you would think. It seems like breaking companies will just fold before getting acquired.
Yeah.
So I'm actually surprised with that.
But frankly, what do we have to offer other than name, following, loyalty? Like, we don't make product, right? So that's the thing. It's probably, and I'm sure all those things are worth a lot to a company that's just trying to start out. But like, we're having to deal with these ebbs and flows of Topps and Panini and Upper Deck and all this, and we're kind of selling their stuff, right? And Wizards of the Coast and Pokemon. So merging can happen, I think, to kind of merge customer bases. But maybe you see like a Whatnot combined with like
I was gonna say the live e-commerce platforms. I can see there being a merger there or an acquisition there, because there's a couple of them that are out there that are a little bit smaller players in the space, but do have a solid infrastructure that I can see.
That sweet customer data.
Yep.
And that's what they know, and that's what...
Yeah, maybe like you may see some acquisition from like an Amazon or like,
right.
You know what I mean?
Trying to buy into the space without having to build its own infrastructure.
Or TikTok.
Well, especially now that we basically have cleared the way with TikTok. With I saw there was a deal last week with there's U.S. investors who are basically cleared it. So TikTok is A-OK.
TikTok's here to stay.
It ain't going nowhere.
It ain't going nowhere. Don't worry. You can still scroll up.
You know what? I will have to, and we haven't
that
done
brain rot, baby.
Hit that brain rot.
Well, and that's one thing I do appreciate about TikTok, though. Like from a platform of selling breaks on. Like our gaming's on there, fantastic crew of gaming breakers there with Joe, Thor, Los, and Tim's is on there as well. And what I like about that platform is it doesn't just like, if I go into Fanatics, I got to kind of like, Fanatics Live is its own like platform where I got to kind of find people that I like, but I'm not actually watching other content. I'm literally in sell mode. But like TikTok, like if I watch a streamer that's not ours, and I click and go into his room once, then I come up on the algorithm while I'm scrolling. So it's not like it's in my face, but it'll come up. So it's not like you're in a mall of 100 or 200 stores to try to find that person. If you're casually scrolling, it'll suggest it. Like they have like a really eloquent, like
they have a really good fine-tuned algorithm.
Yeah, they do. They do.
You got to give them that.
They hook you.
Get you in. That's what it is.
But that's the goal, right?
Right.
The goal is to make sure you don't get off platform and you just stare at your phone
forever
longer.
And you buy stuff,
never. Yeah, just never look away. You don't know what you're gonna miss.
But they've kind of done that. Like Gary Vee always says this. It's like what is it? Like jab,
jab, punch.
Right. Where I'm watching fart videos and that's the jab. I'm hooked on the fart videos or the Frenchie. I get tons of Frenchie videos. I have a Frenchie. And then maybe occasionally I'll see a jersey being opened, and then that's where the punch is, right? So it's not like just all selling like Fanatics Live or whatnot. It's a little blend of all of it.
You want to talk about a market on TikTok? That's the jersey market.
Yes,
is wild.
Oh, the memorabilia.
The fake jersey market. So of the fake jerseys that look
allegedly
remarkably
fake,
good, that look like. You
mean like the Chinese jerseys?
Yes.
Yeah.
And they are super cheap, but look pretty damn good. Yeah.
I thought you were saying like there's also a lot of like blind wrapped memorabilia like breaks going on TikTok that seem to be fairly popular.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this industry, to get back to this New York congressman thing with the PSA, I wanted to make it like in more of a scope of the whole hobby. I think you're going to start seeing more of this stuff because with anything that becomes such a, big B industry, like $1 billion industry with collectibles, there's going to be somebody trying to figure out if things are legit, or there's going to be a salty competitor that has a bunch of money to give to litigation to figure out if something's legit. So I don't think this will be the first or the last like litigation of like transparency or antitrust that we're going to be dealing with in this hobby because, gold Logomans, where's the, all this stuff, how did the Paul Skeens come out, like stuff like that. I mean, it becomes mainstream.
The big memorabilia controversy we had earlier this year, like things like that, these get noticed, and you start to build a bit of you start to build a case here, and you go, okay, I've laid it all out over the last 4 or 5 years, and we can start to maybe dig in and target all these things.
The thing is with the antitrust against collectors, what this Patrick Ryan guy is trying to. I don't think it really has any legs based on the fact that there are obvious other companies in the space. CGC is doing a lot of volume.
They are the number one TCG.
Yeah, they're doing a ton of volume. I mean, Tag does a fair amount of volume. If you don't want to go with PSA or anything under their umbrella, there's other places to go.
I mean, it's the natural progression of life in certain senses, right? Like I'm using an example of like, for you Bay Area folks there, I grew up right across the street from this big cherry orchard. It was a massive cherry orchard on Lawrence and Pruneridge, and it stretched a pretty big block. And for a while, the fine folks at Olson Cherries were like, it's been the family for, decades and generations, and we're holding on to it. Well, Kaiser made multiple offers of many millions of dollars until it was finally purchased. And I'm using this as an example of like Beckett was probably like, I don't know if we're going to be able to compete with PSA anymore. And they're offering us X amount of dollars. So we can either slowly die or we can cash out and make some money, right? Like, it's going to happen. It's a natural progression of life when companies like, it's like if like somebody cut Mojobreak, like we couldn't stream anywhere and we couldn't like sell any product anywhere because it was being controlled by somebody else. We're probably going to sell the company at some point because we could no longer generate the kind of money that we were making in the past. And I think you're seeing that, like, you know, we were like thinking that, oh, well, Fanatics is going to put Whatnot out of business. Well, Whatnot has done a great job of getting so much market share and so much investment because their technology is far in advance that maybe Whatnot buys Fanatics now. You know what I mean? Like maybe Fanatics Live, that is.
Oh yeah.
I'm not gonna buy Fanatics, but maybe Fanatics. Who knows?
Live.
Who knows?
That's not a huge stretch.
Maybe a merger
Short.
where they both kind of come together and combine one massive
Yeah.
e-commerce live selling platform.
Could see
Maybe.
it.
Yeah, and that's like I said. Like, so if you're the owner of Beckett, you've done a good job of, you know, staying afloat, cutting the prices down, and keeping a short staff and getting by all these years. But you see your market share every month and you're losing it, and you're like, what do you do? You know, do you wait until it's worth half as much as you were just offered? Or do you know, and that's a sad thing for collectors. I'm not saying it's a great thing for collectors. It's a sad thing when you start having less options. But I mean, look at Anheuser-Busch. Don't they own like 20 or 30 craft brew beers that they've bought? Like, and people think they're buying a craft brew, but it's Kona is made by Anheuser-Busch and all this, like, right? So it's like, it happens. It's a big business that, you know, wants to continue to grow, and they have the money to continue to grow. It sucks, but
Yeah. Well said. I think it's yeah.
You have a thing against Budweiser?
no, it's but some people, you know, you've heard it from your buddies, right?
Well,
You're like,
you know
I'm
what?
drinking this Kona Island Lager, and I'm supporting Hawaii, and it's like, no, it's Anheuser-Busch.
Blue Moon is the one that I think is owned by it's either Anheuser-Busch or Coors or whatever. It's owned by one of them.
Yeah, I think it's Anheuser-Busch.
Yeah. So yeah, it's actually, I was just thinking, I went to the Anheuser-Busch brewery a few years back, and you go to the gift shop and you realize, oh, every beer is brewed by these guys.
Yes.
Like Stella is a
Stella.
That is a Anheuser-Busch brand.
Well, one thing we learned
You
about
gotta get rid of the paper top on the Stella and
I always rip it off all
and
the
the aluminum that they put on the Modelo. Like, could somebody figure this out? Like, it's
I get gold bits in my mouth.
useless. Can't be good for you.
there's a great video. It's it's about Modelo, but it's this guy, and he's like a Raiders, and he's a Raiders Dodgers fan, and the song is Raiders Dodgers Modelo. Raiders Dodgers. I was like, such a genius, dude. And he's like in his Dodgers, like hanging out, you know. Raiders Dodgers Modelo. It's like, yeah. But what we learned from being in Chicago with Yingling, right? Yingling is a tasty beer, you know. Yeah. And I'm like, why don't we have much Yingling in California? So we learned that you have to have a brewery based on the alcohol laws. You have to have a brewery in that state. So I think we may have talked about this in a podcast a while ago, but like that's why Anheuser-Busch, when they buy these companies, they can distribute it across all the states because they have bottler, or what is it called, bottleries? Is that what it's called?
Something like that.
They have bottleries everywhere.
Yeah.
So they can
That
make
might
these.
be a made up word.
Bottlery.
Bottlery. I mean, same thing with like in Wisconsin, like Spotted Cow. Like you can't get Spotted Cow anywhere else other than Wisconsin.
What we're trying to say is one day everything will be owned by one thing. Okay, this is the natural order. It's all going to be one giant mega corporation in the middle of the country that will be like, we own everything. So
hopefully that company is called Megacorp.
Yeah, Megacorp.
Brondo.
Yeah,
Megacorp.
exactly.
Yeah, I mean, and it definitely, when you're starting out as a small mom and pop and you're supporting these mom. I mean, remember McDonald's was just two dudes for a while.
The movie definitely was a little.
Getting back on beer, like 21st Amendment is gone.
Yeah.
They're no longer.
21st Amendment, Anchor Steam.
Anchor Steam, another San Francisco.
But is that you got saved?
Yeah,
the company that makes Sapporo. And
but 21st Amendment gone.
Maybe. I think so.
The watermelon beer is no more. If you've actually gone to their brewery in San Francisco,
high watermelon.
It's good.
If you've gone there and you've actually got it on tap, they serve it with a giant piece of watermelon.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, it was a good spot right by the ballpark.
Yeah, delicious. Yeah. Delicious.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, for any industry, if you start out and somebody makes you a multi-million-dollar offer to buy your company, that's kind of American dream in a sense. I guess the fallout of that is like, well, no, there's no more mom and pop shops because they've all been bought by big corporations. I guess that's the drawback. But let's talk this gold logo man. So Ohtani Gold Logoman. So the Gold Logomans were put on the back of every Ohtani jersey this year to signify the MVP for the prior year. And in Topps Chrome, was that regular Topps Chrome?
Believe so.
It was a redemption, but it's a 1-of-1 signed Ohtani with the Gold Logoman. I mean, my jaw dropped when this thing hit $1 million. I was like, that's crazy that this card's going to sell for $1 million. $3 million?
$3 million.
Jeez.
The biggest Ohtani by a long shot. The biggest ultra-modern baseball card by a long shot. Like, it's...
$3 million.
$3 million.
You know what's crazy about this? Was this just out of coincidence that it dropped and sold on Thursday, the release of Chrome Basketball, right, with Has Gold Logomans?
They are pushing the Gold Logoman.
So was it a coincidence?
Then it also sold on Fanatics Collect.
Or is it just great marketing?
I
mean, maybe this person had it.
Talk about coincidence, but how about just like smart marketing?
Smart marketing for sure. I mean, maybe this person did contact them in August to sell this thing, and they're like, well, wait a minute.
They made sure to
in December, more Gold Logomans are coming out. We'll end it on this day. I mean, good planning on their portion. But my question is, there's going to be another one. There may be 10 more. He may win 10 MVPs. Shohei Ohtani may play another 10 years and win 10 MVPs. Is this the most valuable of the 10 that's going to come out because it's the first one, or would the last one be more valuable?
I don't know, man. What about off the season? He goes, he does 100.
I mean, then it should be, right?
100 home runs, 100 stolen bases, and 20 wins pitching.
I mean,
and 50 saves. Why not? What can he do?
I will say, I mean, that is why it is the price that it is. It's the 50-50. It commemorates the 50-50 season, right?
Just randomly having conversations with, I would say, casual baseball fans. Even people who are not baseball fans.
Yeah.
They know who Ohtani is.
Yeah.
And they instantly go, Ohtani. And it's not, Ohtani is the best player in the game today. It's like, Ohtani might be the greatest player ever to play the game.
Right.
And that very well could be true. I mean, there's always going to be, there's going to be another person after Ohtani where people will probably have this same exact conversation. But right now, you can make a strong argument. Like, he is not only a generational talent, but he might be the best ever to do it.
Yeah.
So getting back to his card value, I think the hype is just going into his card value where people are like, well, I'm going to collect this one-of-a-kind piece that is from, I mean, just imagine, like, before Ohtani, it was like Babe Ruth had a good solid 100-year run of people considering him being the greatest baseball player ever to do it.
Yep.
What if Babe Ruth had this type of card?
Yeah. You would imagine it should be upwards of, it would be beyond that. Beyond probably.
Sure. Yeah. What if there was
Babe Ruth had an exact same type of card?
Yeah.
So I think he didn't wear a Gold Logoman back in...
He didn't wear Gold Logomans. It's very interesting. We're talking. I want to go back to the marketing aspect because this has been a banner year for the Fanatics. Basically the elements that are added to the baseball products that are very much a product of Fanatics taking over and really trying to trying to add a little more juice to this. The MLB debut patch beginning of the year, 1.1 million. That was the record for Ultra Modern, the Skeens debut patch. You bookend the year with this, shatters the record. Almost 2 million more. And they are these two new cards, these two new advances here, where these are fully like Fanatics is saying we want to add in more of the like stuff that these guys wear and really drive up the hype for this stuff more than ever. And I mean, again, everybody, if you want to make your conspiracy theories that they were both on Fanatics Collect, that they bookend the year, they are both these, and they now almost have to make you ask, like, is a Bowman Superfractor even the thing you want?
Well, these
if you're collecting players,
we've seen. I mean, the debut patch. I mean, no pun intended. Like it's been a home run, right? And they have now announced that Formula One is also going to have a debut patch, and I think we have WWE has debut patch.
MLS.
We have UFC
we're gonna
debut
get
patch.
NBA ones next
So we're gonna football. So we
should,
basically have it across the board. It kind of was like so successful in baseball. It was a no brainer to kind of rinse and repeat and do it with the other categories. And I think that goes along with this as well. Like this, the gold logo mans. Yeah, we're gonna see them every single year.
yeah.
Because it's ultra successful.
But I guess
It creates
also,
buzz.
and you know, obviously Fanatics and Ruben, they all get a lot of hate based on like, what do you guys do? We wouldn't have had this if it wasn't for them. Like if we were sitting in 2026 and Topps was still owned by the guy that was connected to Disney, Michael Eisner, and you know Panini was still doing the same thing. Like the fact that Fanatics already had a lot of skin in the game with the Players Association, and as well as being a manufacturer of the jersey, is kind of what made this possible. And we've never gotten this close to the game in a sense. We've had game worn logo mans with no game. You know, we're not sure exactly what game they came from. Sometimes Panini would say it came from this game, but this is literally from the debut, and specifically, it was their first time they stepped on the field to give collectors a chance at something that player worn the very first time they made a professional sport. It's pretty incredible. I mean, if you
and
think
it's
about
also with the debut patches, it's getting the athletes super involved and wanting to either collect.
There was a guy that just put his phone number, right?
phone number.
The Rockies player, yes, I saw that.
Put
That
his
was
phone
really
number. Put his phone number on the card.
cool. Call
Yeah.
me when you get this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, that's the thing is you see like, you know, there's the top tier rookies we're all chasing, but it is the fun part is those guys that, you know, they probably have some idea of like, hey, I'm so happy I even have this card. My whole journey, my whole life has led to this, and you know, whatever happens from here on out, great. But
like David Benuelos,
Right,
you know, who
exactly.
came into the shop after we.
how much that means to them, it commemorates a whole journey, their whole life.
Yeah, it's like a $50 to $100 card to a collector, but it's priceless to them.
Right. I will say this with these cards, and I said it about the Skeens debut patch. I don't think anything, at least for baseball, I don't think anything ever reaches those heights again. I think it's the same thing with this gold logo man, at least for baseball. I think there's probably another NBA gold logo man or an NFL shield made gold shield that maybe gets past the 3 million, maybe. But man, now even I'm saying it because Ohtani is such a unique, special athlete. I don't know who it would be if it ever climbed.
Here's how it's going to happen. Tell you right now, Cody. Right? We know that Shohei Ohtani wears 162. I'm assuming maybe he wears the same jersey.
The other thing,
Right? So there's 80 of them. All right. Let's fast forward 15 years. We make a 101 with every single gold logo man from every season that Ohtani played. And it's a 10 logo mans on one card or a book card with an Ohtani autograph on it.
Oh God,
That's the card, right?
$70 million.
Yeah, it'd be 700 million.
I mean, now you wouldn't.
The amount of his contract.
I feel like that card is priced out some of the collector community.
Now you won't. I don't know how you acquire the Angels ones. I mean, maybe there's some jerseys floating around out there. They won't be gold.
No.
But you'd have to. You couldn't just do the Topps era ones. You'd have to go backwards and get the two other MVPs. He had two other MVPs, right?
Yes.
It was
Only
the-
four
total.
together. 4 total. So far.
So, but two of them they will have
with the
gold
Angels,
logos,
yes.
and then two with the Angels that he didn't have the gold logos.
No.
But can you imagine that? And then
I don't love book cards.
well, unless you could
say, do you think there's a now? I'm trying to think. What's the scenario where one? Do you think anything ever tops this gold logo man in any sport, or is this a just?
I feel like we've been talking
50-50.
about this like since a modern card hit $500,000. We're
Right.
like,
It will always go.
the part of me is like, absolutely not. It'll never go over $3 million. But I feel like in 3 months, we're going to have a conversation about a modern card selling for $3.5 million. So, no, this is not the ceiling.
We don't know who we don't know who bought this yet, right?
no,
Because
we never seem to know.
Because this is the thing that if you want to splash some cold water on it, because yes, the Skeens set a record. It was bought by Dick's Sporting Goods. Like it was a marketing tool, and it was also a retailer that sells officially licensed gear. So if you want to throw a little cold water of like, all right, well, that's just kind of a marketing thing. We don't know who bought this Ohtani yet. Could just be a guy who loves Shohei Ohtani at $3 million to burn. We don't know.
Or it could be Big Five getting back in the game, dude.
That's the thing.
You know what I mean?
No, okay. First off, wait.
Sports Authority making a comeback.
No,
I don't know how okay.
No, you're
this
wrong.
is. It could
Wrong.
be-
Play It Again Sports is definitely the one that's making.
It could be the Los Angeles Dodgers organization saying, "Yeah, we bought that because we want it. We want it in our. We want this to commemorate the greatest season, one of the greatest seasons, if not the greatest season any Dodger has ever had."
Who knows though? It could be.
Magic
Dodgers.
Johnson could have it in his.
It could be.
Right.
It could be Shohei. It could be.
Could be Ipe.
It could be Shine. It could be. It could be anybody.
That'd be a hell of a thing if he found a way to buy that. Shohei looks at his account. How did I lose $3 million in my account again?
Ipe still has access.
Hey!
Solid investment.
Yeah, I mean,
Calling from Guantanamo Bay. It's making those deals.
so just to kind of to kind of bring it back a little bit. It's like, yeah, it could have this. There's that too. This could be another like, yeah, this might be a marketing thing.
I mean, and it's funny because I always would think, oh, well, how did they get this all to go to Fanatics Collect? Harkening back to the story of the guy that hit the dual tag auto of Curry and Clay that we got, and hearing the negotiations. I mean, Fanatics Collect might just be given the most right now. It's like the biggest guarantees for these cards too, right? Because it's valuable for them to set up their marketplace to get cards like this, especially when it's their own card. And they may be like, hey, we're going to give you $1.5 million guarantee. And I mean, at that point, you're like, okay, yeah. Or golden and alt and all that. Maybe they can't. I don't know. I don't know the specifics, but I'm just saying, I was like curious on why these cards are going to Fanatics Collect, but maybe they're just giving these offers like crazy. Like they're just making these crazy guarantees. And maybe they know Michael Rubin's already talking to a couple of his buddies that they want this card. So
If one last gold logo man thought, if Wemby, we were talking about this. Because right now, I think Victor Wembanyama is the favorite for Defensive Player of the Year. But it's Defensive Player of the Year. It's not MVP. But if there is just a Victor Wembanyama gold logo man out there, is that just automatically $1 million card?
Seems like it. I mean, we got Evan Mobley, not too exciting.
No. Shea is going to be the most valuable.
Yeah.
And I don't see that eclipsing $1 million. Maybe it does, because it was a championship year.
So who was it? Shea, Evan Mobley, and
Stephon Castle.
rookie of the year.
None of those, to me, strike me as a card that is going to reach these heights. Not even close. A Wemby, I don't even care if it's a Defensive Player of the Year.
It's just the what could have been, right? If you could have the Curry gold logo,
I'm
the
like
LeBron.
What would be a Curry or LeBron,
right? A Luka. I could see a Luka potential.
But I think our chances of Curry and LeBron winning some now are probably a lot slimmer than they would be.
So I think it's probably Wemby, Luka, Ant-Man. So maybe the three where you go if there was a gold logo man. Gold logo man.
Unless they changed it and they're like, okay, if you win Finals MVP, you get a gold logo man the following year.
Yeah,
there's room to expand it,
and that's something that LeBron or Curry potentially maybe like
or first team
like
all team first team what do they call it?
Right.
Where they
All
have
NBA.
All NBA, the top five, the starting five there.
Yeah, they can definitely expand it.
I mean, look, given the success of this, given the amount of time we're talking about this is not going to be the last, hey, let's throw a little jersey patch on you and then put it in a card.
Now, where
it's going to keep going.
Where do you think the NBA debut patches are going to be?
I don't know.
I don't know. And that's the thing to harken back to, like,
because a Cooper Flag autograph debut patch.
It should be a massive card.
I mean, that will be $1 million card,
it's
right?
a great rookie class.
It's the biggest card of
Edgecombe,
2026. We can already say that, I think.
Con Knippel's doing well. I
Yeah.
mean, it's a really good rookie class right now.
Yeah.
But like what I was saying earlier, when we were talking about Topps Chrome, like there probably won't be an on-card non-patch auto this year that will take the place of Topps Chrome. So if there is a lot coming out, everything else, like, if they make Finest, it's not going to sell for as much. If they make Cosmic, it's not going to sell for as much. If they make whatever, Allen Ginter basketball, I mean, I'm just throwing them out there.
Right.
Topps Chrome will be the number one Cooper Flag rookie auto out in the market for the whole year.
Yeah.
Rookie auto, not an RPA, not a patch auto.
Correct.
Okay.
In my opinion, I don't think any of the other brands will take over.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I mean, even Wemby, the non-licensed, the Topps Chrome is the one to have.
By the way, just another thought of the Ohtani. It feels like for years we talked about, MLB can't really replicate the Logoman success. They can't really do it. Shield, all the, MLB can't do it. That's over. That conversation is dead, right?
Should
This
be.
just proved it.
It did.
It's a batter silhouette. It's not
Batter silhouette,
it's not a logo.
whatever you want to call
It's
it.
not a well.
And you know what Fanatics looked at? They're like, there's a lot of room to grow,
Yeah.
right?
People don't view the batter silhouette the same way they view
and
the Logoman
and
or
it's
the Shield.
not like the batter silhouette MLB logo man is new. They've been doing it for a long time.
Yeah.
It's just Fanatics has a better way of marketing it.
Yeah.
Well, just think about what to expand the portfolio of these patches, you could be like, well, Cal Raleigh broke the Ken Griffey Jr.'s record for most home runs. The next day, he wears record breaker patch. Right? So now you have a Cal Raleigh record-breaking patch. Or,
Heck, you don't even need that.
no-hitter patch.
The Topps Dynasty.
The golden sombrero patch. You struck out 4 times?
Yes, we need to do that too.
You just needed to be from the game because the Ohtani one where he broke the record, that was the previous record holder. For over $1 million.
I want a golden sombrero patch.
Golden sombrero patch would be nice.
I mean, I guess there is that
Put a
gold
little
logo man.
patch on.
That gold logo man, even though it was worn the season after, signifies the first 50-50 season ever.
It is the one that symbolizes.
And he won the World Series that year. So,
Yeah.
did he win World Series MVP too that year?
No, Freeman?
No.
That's
This is the thing people forget. Ohtani kind of disappeared in the 24 World Series. He was hurt.
Yeah,
25.
on that slide, right?
25, he had a good World Series, but he wasn't this. It's kind of interesting, despite all the success he's had, and I'm not trying to be like Ohtani sucks, but despite all the success he's had, like.
Well, that would be an odd podcast because I just literally said that the consensus is he's the greatest. He's the greatest ever to play.
But he has
and then
not
Cody comes
had-
back and he's like, "Well, let me tell you his downfalls."
Yeah, I know he had a 3-homer game. He had arguably one of the great postseason games of all time in the last playoff run. But his World Series performances have not been up to the same level. And again, it's 14.
And you know what? They won both.
They won both.
Yeah, it was. I was gonna say it wasn't 2002 Barry Bonds, but they didn't win that one either.
But that will be
now. Granted, if the Dodgers had lost both of the World Series, then I think there would be a little bit of a spotlight on Shohei for not performing,
kind of like Aaron Judge in the 2024.
But when you win them,
we can ignore it.
You can ignore it.
Conveniently ignore that.
Once again, if you guys want to get into breaks and get 13% off any spot on the website, mojobreak.com, to get into breaks, use code XMASHYPE, and there's only a limit of 50 coupons. Before we let you guys go, once again, happy holidays to everybody out there. We got some new releases to talk about. Topps Chrome Marvel Studios debuts this week. We also have looks like a WNBA release as well. Impeccable
yep.
And Flawless Baseball to round out a kind of short week, last week of the year. So, yeah, I mean, a huge autograph checklist, surprise signers like Henry Cavill, who did he play?
Henry Cavill, who was Superman in Man of Steel and all that, and then he was thrown in as a cameo. Spoiler alert for Deadpool and Wolverine, which has been out for almost 2 years now. He shows up as like they go to the alternate universes to see different Wolverines, and there's always like an inside joke with fans online of like, oh, Henry Cavill should be the next Wolverine, da 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 da, and then he shows up as Wolverine in like this alternate reality, and it got a huge pop from audiences.
And I've been finding myself lately, like my likings have been like entertainment lately. I've been breaking, Galaxy and Labubu, Chrome and stuff. I guess my only question to collectors and you guys, as before we let everybody go here, is how many years can we make the same thing and it's going to carry the same value, right? Like, because they're not going to crank out 10 Marvel movies a year. We're going to have new, like Timothée Chalamet is going to be in a movie now. He's a new signer.
Yeah.
Well, we may, but like, we're going to have Disney Chrome 2026, which is now going to be the third Disney Chrome, and we're going to have another Mickey Mouse. We're going to have another Donald Duck. Like, at what point does the value get eroded? In a sense?
You're right. That's the thing. It hasn't been out long enough for us to truly know what's going to happen. Marvel's the same thing. Luckily there's a lot of fresh signers. But we also have had Upper Deck series. Like, we had the Infinity Saga series, which I think was pretty good, actually, and a lot of big signers in it. So there are already sets out there that fill the need that we're getting with Topps Chrome. Now, it has the Topps logo on it. It's part of the Topps Chrome family. There's a lot of cool parallels. And there's a lot of new signers. So as long as they keep making new movies, it should have a lot of life. That said, look, this could be an argument for Marvel people if you want to talk about it. But frankly, the Marvel Studios brand is kind of not on a cold streak. They had a couple of hits this year, but like they're not what they were 5 years ago. Let's just be honest. They're not what they were at the end of Avengers Endgame, where they, $3 billion.
Yeah, I don't think the Fantastic Four really was the first steps wasn't as great as it should have been.
It kind of was supposed to be the movie that saved Marvel Studios, and it was fine. And it didn't, and it wasn't the box office that they needed it to be. So I'm curious the legs on this. There's a big Avengers movie next year. There's a new Spider-Man next year. Maybe next year we go, we're so back. Marvel's so back.
It's really hard because like I almost wish, and this is like almost impossible, is to like have the set come out when the movie comes out, right? Like
it used to, there was a time where they did
but
that.
like I don't think these companies like Topps or Upper Deck in a smaller scale want to invest if they don't know the movie's going to be good or not, right? So if it's a box office flop and it's not, like what they expected it to be, then the set won't do as well either. And it's
much more cautious with this stuff. I mean, even beyond the world of cards, like it just felt like there were more movie tie-in products before a big movie came out. And it's what makes it funny. It's like you go to the 90s and they're like it's just crazy tie-in products to like massive flop movies, and they just don't do that anymore because there's too much risk. Like I'll always think of what came to mind when Frozen came out, and there was a massive rush by Disney in the next year to be like, oh, crap, we did not know this was going to be this big, and we have nothing to give you.
Yeah.
We have not enough. We don't have enough merch. We don't have anything to put in the parks. Like, so, it's the give and take of like, when you have a big hit on your hands and you're like, crap, we don't have anything, but you don't.
Because, I mean, you could almost like tie in like a promo pack to AMC theaters, right?
Yeah.
Like, buy the $30 popcorn bucket special thing, and there's two promo cards in there to get people in the hobby.
In the bucket?
I didn't get
In the bottom, in the bottom of the bucket.
You know what they did? I think Cinemark did this. I didn't get a card. I should have asked. If you saw Zootopia 2 on the opening weekend, you get a Lorcana card. A Zootopia 2 exclusive Lorcana card.
See, that's cool. That's a good start.
Asked. I didn't because I realized I didn't get one. The hell? Where's my Lorcana?
Opened some Labubu Chrome with my daughters. It was cool. I mean, the thing that's like interesting about that, I think the card holder is really cool.
It did look cool,
and they have different colors. And it comes actually with a magnetic. So I thought I had to provide my own magnetic and put it in the holder. It actually comes with a magnetic. but that's literally only 4 cards. That's it. There's only 4 cards on the checklist, and so you get basically a complete base set in every box. There's only 1 pack of 5 cards, and then you get the 1 repeat, which would be a refractor, a numbered refractor, all the way down to superfractor.
So it's a 5-card pack. 4 of those cards are going to be the same in every single box.
Yes.
And you're basically getting
a whole set.
You're getting 1 parallel.
1 parallel, which is
when you say a whole set, like it's 4 cards.
4 cards.
So
Complete set.
Complete set.
That's how you can sell it. Labubu, Top Scrum Labubu, complete set.
Yeah, and then you get from what I've seen,
is there only 4 Labubas?
No.
Isn't there?
So this is the 10th anniversary.
They've been out for 10 years.
Yeah.
This is the concept by
Took a little while.
Casing Lung was the artist that developed the Monsters brand, which turned into Labubu, and he made this concept 10 years ago. It didn't take off until last year.
Right.
So this is an anniversary to his concept, really. So
that seems a little. I didn't realize that. The anniversary of my concept. It's like.
Well, he made cards. I think they were only sold overseas. Like we didn't get them. So these cards were already made. But what Topps did was to take this art from his cards that he made already and just put Topps Chrome on it.
It's like though, if you're like, I'm sure like George Lucas wrote the idea for Star Wars on a napkin.
I think
was like
I think
20.
wholesale is like $50 or something like that. So I guess
And I think they are selling for about $100.
okay. Yeah. So I mean, I get it's like it's a little
5
little
cards.
pricey. Both
and
for 4 cards that are all going to be the same. Like,
four, and then again 1 that's in a lanyard already.
No, it's in the pack still.
Okay.
The lanyard's separate. That's why the box is a little bit bigger.
And you would put your nice little card in the lanyard.
Yeah, unless you're my daughter and you just pick the one that you love, and it doesn't matter that it's a refractor. But
Wait, lanyard, like you wear it?
Yeah. Like
or it goes on your
like
backpack.
your Logan Paul.
Yeah, I put it on my
Whichever
Instagram.
one just got knocked out the other night.
Yeah, look, it's like that. You put the card in there, and it's got that on the back. Not great for radio here, guys, but you can go on my Instagram. So you put the card in there, and then it's got a clip that goes on your backpack or your purse.
Oh, because you put the Labubus on your backpack.
Mm-hmm.
So now you put the card on your backpack.
With the Labubu. Now we're cooking.
Okay, I think there's a
Well,
I think there's a football game coming.
Yeah, I was
going
to say I got to go watch the Niners beat the Colts. 1 on the road, 5 at home. Quest for 6, baby. So we'll see you guys next week on the hype. Also, Merry Christmas to you guys out there.
Merry Christmas. Well, we can hope for a Niners loss together.
Happy New Year, all that, because I think this will be our last episode of 2026. So
I think so. Yeah. Maybe one next week. We'll see.
We'll have like a little bonus for you guys next week. But this will be the last time we're recording live for the 2025 year. So.
Yeah, we didn't do the year in review.
I won't review. I mean, we did the state of the hobby.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Now that is how you end a podcast.
Yep. Be sure to check out all of our other podcasts and join in some breaks. Also find us on Whatnot, as well as Fanatics Live, Mojobreak, shop.com, mojobreak.com, and TikTok for gaming. So we'll see you guys later.